Sashi Brown's. There we go. Sashi Brown's concerning comments about Madubuike. Lots of Ravens just come out today. That and so much more in this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to episode 394 of the Purple Rain podcast. The John Jenkins, most recently, the John Simon, Carl Davis, Isaiah Mack, Dalen Mack edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you for spending your Monday evening, Monday afternoon, or maybe even a Tuesday morning with us. When you watch this, and if you are watching this afterwards, let us know down below using hashtag replay gang. But yes, first off, you know where you can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X at SuttonDef. Me, Instagram, simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yes, welcome back to the 394th edition of the Purple Rain podcast, in which we're almost in April and there's still pertinent Ravens news to talk about. We're not grasping for straws. We're not pulling out the rankings just yet. We're not just kind of getting all that draft content out. No, it's actual Ravens news, and we talk about that today. But how's everybody in the chat doing? How are you doing, Sutton? How was your weekend? And how's everything going?
Everything's going well, man. I cannot complain, not one single little bit. Let me give a shout out to who's here in the live chat really quick. You know we got to show love to who's here in the live chat. Dre is in the live chat. What's going on, Dre? We got some members. We got some Purple Rain Gang members in the live chat. I see Ashley is in the live chat already. What's going on, Ashley? We also got Tila, and the M stands for moderator. So if you're acting up, you're getting the boot. Appreciate you for coming through, Tila, as always. Let me see. Who else we got? Dr. Kush is in the building. What's going on, Dr. Kush? I see my guy ISO is in the building as well. What up? Glaucoma, Chef Spicy Rice, King Lee. What is going on, everybody? JD, what's going on? The Chef. I don't want to miss anybody. Jay the Six, Nero Psych Sports 95. Chris M, another member in the chat. What's going on, Chris M? Appreciate you for coming through as always supporting us, always holding it down here for the Rain Gang. We appreciate you, Chris. Asmodeus, another mod in the building. What's going on, Asmodeus? Asmodeus, that is to you. Says, yo, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for coming through. But yeah, we got some things to touch on, like my guy Alex led the episode with. We got some still very relevant news coming out, pretty much on the day-to-day basis when it comes to our Baltimore Ravens. And as you know, we are dedicated to be here to cover it for you and talk about it with you. So if you like listening to us yap about the good old Baltimore Ravens, why don't you go ahead and leave us a subscription on our channel? And also, most importantly, leave a like on the video. Okay. Real quick, a couple of housekeeping things before we dive into this juicy Ravens talk, right? Alex, I notice you are now clean shaven.
Yes, I am. I did that yesterday, and I feel like a new man. I feel like I'm young again, and I feel like I'm going to get carded next time I go to buy alcohol.
More than likely. But it looks good, brother. It looks good, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do have something. Yesterday, I was at the alma mater of one Joseph Vincent Flacco.
Word. Was it Del State?
University of Delaware, yeah.
University of Delaware. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just, traveling. I was like, man, this is where the GOAT played at. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy Joe Flacco, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing, before we get, dive into this football news, speaking of real football, your boys, Arsenal FC.
We're back this weekend.
I don't know. I mean, I heard y'all are playing Southampton, heavily favored to win. However, I'm hearing like 10, 11 guys are hurt right now and are not playing international games. What's going on?
That is true. See, now, the media and the other fans, soccer haters is different because they are trying to come at us for pulling our players out of international break. These players are hurt. Trust me, they are hurt. They are dealing with knocks, is what they call them. Little knocks, or they call them niggles. Yes, that is an actual thing. It's kind of their way of saying, yes.
Niggles is crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, Niggles. Yes, that is their term for. As somebody would say, maybe if somebody were to get hurt during the game, how they're questionable to come back. That's what they call it. It's weird, but yes, they are hurt. But they should be back, and we should be good for this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. They call this time the run-in, so every game comes fast. The fixtures come fast, and I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. My heart rate last game, hit like 140, and the game before that hit 150. Yes, that's what they call it. I'm telling you, look it up. I'm not making it up. I'm making it up. I
Not
prefer
to
Knox.
niggles. Okay. I love it. I love it. Oh, okay. So look, a couple more things, real quick. I don't know if you saw UFC Seattle this past
I did.
weekend. You
I did.
did? Okay,
I did.
yeah. So you know that my GOAT, Israel Adesanya, he is officially washed, right? It's over with, man. He got knocked out again. Well, yeah, he got stopped again. It was the fourth loss in a row, man. Such a fall from grace, man. It really, for those of you guys who really know MMA, UFC, some of the pioneers of this sport like Anderson Silva. Israel Adesanya is perfectly mirroring the career of an Anderson Silva. You know what I mean? Held the belt for so long, but then once he started losing, the losses just started piling up. Before you know it, he was out of the UFC. So shout out to my boy Izzy, man. He's got to hold his head. I know he's going through it right now, but it's not looking like he's ever gonna grace the top of the UFC ever again. So, but shout out to Joe Pyfer as well. Joe Pyfer looked damn good in there. He stood in there and Izzy was chopping down those those leg kicks and stuff like that. But he stood tough and ended up finding Izzy's chin, and the rest was history. But shout out to Joe Pyfer. Uh, yeah, crazy night of fights too. I don't know if you saw that Macy
Yeah.
Barber knockout.
I
Boy,
saw that, and I saw a little bit extra. When she was like, "What happens when your body fully just shuts down?" Like that's insane. Like,
yeah,
yeah, that was crazy, and like the knockout to like the choke is crazy too.
that was
That was
wild.
some wild
That was
stuff.
it was
Some
scary.
wild
It
stuff.
was scary
Yeah, it
because
was.
I mean I don't know you guys out there listening right now. If you guys saw what she looked like after the fight was over, like she was literally like she looked like she was dead,
Yeah,
right? She
lifeless.
looked like she was just completely lifeless, right? Eyes wide open, but looked glassy, weren't moving at all. Of course, she was breathing, which was a good sign, but she was just unresponsive for a good 30 seconds to a minute before they got her up off the canvas. And you never want to see that. Macy Barber, she's been one of my favorites for the past couple of seasons. I really like, her fighting style, but just wasn't her night. Alexa Grasso got her out of there. And sometimes that's how it goes. It's a dirty sport. But I was surprised that the UFC actually kept the camera focused on her for
Yeah.
that long. You know what I mean? Because you're supposed to like cut away, right?
Mhm.
When scary stuff like that is going on, because there might be kids around, whatever. But hey, it's a crazy sport. It's a violent sport, very dangerous sport. Um,
I have some for you.
okay.
Uh, Obviously, kudos to Pfeiffer. I lost a little respect for him. Did you hear
Why?
about the post match fight? I mean, the post match interview, like when they
No.
give the pressers afterwards of like the whole comment of how he almost took his own life.
Mm, I didn't hear
He
that.
cheated. He cheated on his girlfriend, and that's why I went to. I'm like, ah,
It's funny because I saw him. He did an interview probably like a couple of days before the fight, and he was talking about how he's found God and stuff like that, and he really loves his girlfriend of 6 years. He's been with her for 6 years, and he said that she's kind of been with him through everything, like all of his ups and downs, highs and lows. And normally, what that means, you know what I mean? Normally, what that means is you were putting that girl through the ringer. You know what I mean? One
yeah,
way or another, right? And I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Joe Pyfer, he has admitted that he's had some dark times, and it doesn't surprise me that he said that he considered unaliving himself. It's unfortunate, and he talks a lot about mental health and stuff like that. So I am happy that he is still with us today. I think that that
mhm,
is a huge positive, right? And the fact that he's kind of getting his life on track now and he's still being successful. He's still winning fights, right? And I actually liked what Joe Pyfer, how he acted throughout this whole process of him fighting Izzy, because he was so respectful. He was
mhm,
so respectful to Izzy, like all the way through. Like, and I'm talking like at the pressers, at the weigh-ins. I'm talking in the octagon on fight night, right? He was trying to give him a glove touch right before they started fighting. And Izzy was like, nope, we're actually here at the fight now. So we're no more touching gloves, right? And Joe Piper was like, oh, okay, try to be a nice guy. And even after the fight, showed nothing but grace and respect for Izzy. So, I got to tip my cap to him for that. But, I guess
yeah,
he's just been through rough times. He's been through rough
yeah.
times. Yeah.
Mm.
So, anyways, guys, listen. Let's go ahead and get into some Ravens news. Before we do, real quick, as you guys know, up top right here above us, anybody who sends a super chat donation, if you do become a new subscriber of this channel, or if you do become a member of this channel, all that shows up here in our recent events where you can be celebrated. And now listen, one more thing. If you don't like the video for anything else, like the video for this. Your boy Sutton got a new Mac. Your
Look at
boy
that.
Sutton got a new
Crispy
Mac. Look
clear.
at God, man. Crispy,
Crispy
clear,
clear.
clean. The days of the lag on the stream are
New
over.
internet.
New internet. And I took it a step further. I had a guy come out to my place and wire up Ethernet. So I'm hardwired now.
There we
I'm not
go.
even on the Wi-Fi. You feel me? So no more mess ups, no more lag, nothing like that. If you don't like the video for anything else, please like the video for that. And I wanna say, from the bottom of my heart personally, be serious. Like, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who has rocked with us throughout all the technical difficulties, or me specifically, because Alex has always been good on the up and up. Me specifically, whether or not my voice was choppy or the video was laggy. I'm glad those days are behind us, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting, even throughout those, what I will now call dark times. So thank you so much again for supporting the channel. Like the video, subscribe if you are new here. We'd appreciate that. That helps us out a ton. And we got a lot of Ravens content coming your way. So let's go ahead and get into what we came here to get into finally, right? So, and let's start with this. Before the weekend, you had John Harbaugh come out. And I want to clear the floor for you here. You had John Harbaugh come out and say that his 8-9 Ravens from the 2025 season were some of his best, if not his best, coaching work. Right? He said they felt like they did a great job, and probably had their best chance. It was their best work. How did you react to that, Alex?
I'm gonna pull up a tweet I tweeted because I saw this and my blood boiled. I was at many of these games this year. Many of them. I went to the Browns. I went to the Lions. I went to the Texans. I went to the Bengals. I went to the Patriots game. I'm leaving it at that. We had 6 games with multiple turnovers. 1 with 5. 2 with 3. We had 6 games lost at home. We had the 4th least amount of sacks in the NFL. We had multiple blown leads. You got booed out of the stadium, and you suffered the worst home loss in Ravens history at home. And your fans treated you with with a fire Harbaugh chant as well. Mr. John. I don't think I'm ever going to forgive him for that. Genuinely, and it was crazy. I thought he did a good job in 2024 coaching. I really did. And what he did this past year was just despicable. And not to veer off, last night, Duke, the number 1 seeds were 134-0 when leading by 15 points at halftime. I made a picture of John Harbaugh with a Duke logo because that's who was coaching them with another blown lead. And what's even crazier, I have Giants fans in here trying to tell me that I wasn't alive for either one of the Ravens Super Bowls and that I'm not a real fan. And I'm like, you're a Giants fan. Enjoy the ride this year. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Now
have fun with those double-digit blown leads for sure. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
If they can even get them. Now back to this. Your best coaching? No. You could have said any other year, and I would have agreed. Chris here. Chris
here. Oh my goodness. Look at Chris celebrating the 6 months of membership. Appreciate you, Chris, so much. Does anybody need gas money to ride over there to him asking for the chat? That's hilarious.
Yes. Pick us up. Pick us up, please. But I mean, you could say the season didn't go the way I planned and I did my best. And you know what? That's fine. To say it was your best, your defensive coordinator got Malik Willis paid $50 million. Sorry, I said 50 million pounds. $50 million.
That's a fact.
Your defensive coordinator gave Drake May his signature win, his signature comeback against us on Sunday Night Football. You had Cardi B. You had Stephon Diggs trolling. You were a laughingstock. Like, we were genuinely a laughingstock of the league. We had our offensive lineman, one of the most known players now in the NFL. When you say 77, you can go on Twitter, say 77 in a football term, they're gonna know it's Daniel Valier.
Yep.
It's embarrassing, and to be so just tone deaf. It's enjoy the media, enjoy the New York media, enjoy New York Post, because you will be on the cover of that many times this year. So you got what you wanted, but to put it nicely.
Yeah, and Tila says in the chat here, just lying unprovoked. Like you didn't need. I mean, and like you said, like you didn't need to say. All you had to do was say, "Hey, look, we fell short last season, but I'm looking forward to this new, era of me in New York, right? And seeing what we can do. Jackson Dart, I love our nucleus. Malik Neighbors, Scatterboo. We've got a top 10 draft pick this year. We're looking forward to what we can do here with the Giants, right? You don't have to even focus too much. Like, give us your best Harbaughism, like you used to do, right? Tell us something without telling us anything. Like you didn't have to go in and say, "Oh, I felt like this was our best work," because that's obviously not facts. It's not factual. Because if it were, you would have hired Zach Orr as your defensive coordinator. If it were, Daniel Faalele would be your starting right guard right now because we don't know about Evan Neal and he's hurt, and the guy behind him, we don't know, how good he's going to be or whatever. Get 77. That was your boy, right? He started for 2 years, uncontested. Uncontested. Made a Pro Bowl, right? I mean, must be worth something. So I didn't understand it either. And I mentioned this on Friday, but Mad Rasta says here with the $2 super chat donation. Appreciate you, Mad Rasta, making it rain here on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Mad Rasta says, I don't blame him for saying that. He got his ring. Thoughts?
But this past year, I mean, he could have said 2012. He could have said 2014, where we went into Foxborough. We went in with basically DoorDash corners, and we almost beat Tom Brady. We can go 2018, how I changed the whole offense when Lamar took over. 2019 took the league by storm. Hell, 2020 dealing with all those. I don't know if I can say the word that illness that was going around. You can say 2022. I still made the playoffs with Tyler Huntley when my main quarterback went down. I can go 2023 one seed. 2024, turn the defense around. But you use this past year. I don't get it.
I don't understand that either at all. At all. And, I said this on Friday. I said that, him saying something like that, him saying that, like, oh, this was our best coaching work, really just tells me that he had nothing to do with that 2012 Super Bowl. Tells me he had nothing to do with it. Tells me he got carried by the players, which it was very evident that he did. You know what I mean? You had guys like Joe Flacco playing out of his mind, just uncharacteristically, to be honest with you, like playing out of his mind. I know we talk about how Joe Flacco is so good, but nothing Joe Flacco did outside of that 2012 playoff run even comes close to that 2012 playoff run. Nothing. I mean, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions in that postseason campaign, and he just was playing absolutely lights out, taking out the likes of Peyton Manning, taking out the likes of Tom Brady, taking out the likes of Andrew Luck. You know what I mean? And then Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl, who was coached by his brother. You know what I mean? It's just, again, this is very telling. The fact that he thinks that the 2025 season was some of his best work, if not his best work. Because it tells me you didn't do shit in 2012. And excuse my language, but that's how it's feeling. That's how it's feeling. Another super chat donation coming from Mad Rasta says the Ravens could have a worse record than last year. Current coaches have not proven a thing. The O-line worse and D-line still depends on Nnamdi.
O-line worse. We're not even a month into free agency. I know defensive line. I think DJ Reader gets signed. You have a draft. I think just that the whole coaching will change those players, and I can kind of run it back, throw it back. I think with these guys, we could be better. We could have a better record. I think with our opponents, I think it'll be better as well. We play the NFC South this year. I think we'll probably go 4-0, maybe 3-1 if we drop one game, but who knows? I think I had us right now a 10-6 or 11-5, which is better than last year. I do not think we go under 500. I'll tell you that right now. 8-9 is not happening again. You have, I think, just the mentality, the way we played against the Steelers, that's out the door now. I think we played them scared half the time. So I'm feeling better about this year. We swap out Hendrickson. We swap out Calvin for Hendrickson. Net positive, like I said last episode. You took Jalen Hawkins over Alohi Gilman. That's a positive. You probably won't be having your corners play 10 yards off their receivers. That's a positive. So I'm feeling good, but obviously a long way to go. But I think we'll be better than 8-9 next year for sure.
I do too. And, you bring up the Steelers rivalry. I hadn't thought about this a bunch until right now when you mentioned it. This rivalry, Ravens versus Steelers, is about to look totally different than what we've seen it look like in the last 2 decades almost. Like Jesse Minter's coming in with a totally new philosophy when it comes to coaching. Of course, he's a defensive minded head coach as opposed to John Harbaugh, who was a special team specialist, which never really made a whole bunch of sense to me. But he's going to be going up against a Mike McCarthy, you know what I mean, who is, if I'm not mistaken, he's an offensive minded guy, right? I have
Mhm.
that right? Yeah, he's an offensive minded guy. So it's gonna be interesting because you had Tomlin, who was a defensive guy, Harbaugh, who was a special teams guy. Now you got a defensive guy in Baltimore versus an offensive guy in Pittsburgh, and the offensive guy in Pittsburgh kind of goes against their long-standing identity. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of a growing pains and a process to fully kind of switch over to what Mike McCarthy wants to do, whereas opposed to with the Ravens, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more of a seamless transition because while Harbaugh was a special teams guy, the Ravens still always prided themselves and predicated their game on defense, even still to this day. You can see with how they spend their money. They're ready to go on defense, which is why I disagree with you here, Mad Rasta. I don't think that there's any way really that the Ravens could have a worse record or anywhere close to 9 losses like they did last season because I think that the defense is going to be, how do I say, like, for lack of better words, like on autopilot. I feel like we're going to have a top 5 defense, top 10 at the very least, right, at the very worst, right? I look at what Minter was able to do in LA. And I've been taking the liberty, Alex. I'll tell you, I've been taking the liberty. I've been watching some LA Chargers tapes, specifically that defense, to see, okay, how did they get all these sacks? How were they one of the top units in the league? And I want to get into that in just a few minutes here when we start talking about Nnamdi Madubuike. But the point is, I think that the Ravens defense is going to be damn good. I think that the rivalry between the Ravens and the Steelers is going to be totally refreshed, but I think it will start with the Ravens having the upper hand. I do.
Mhm.
You know, I want to ask you what you thought about Ben Roethlisberger saying what he
Oh
said
yeah.
too little bit later, a little bit later. Another super chat donation. This one's coming from Asmodeus. Appreciate you, Asmodeus, dropping the 5 piece in the chat. One of our mods making it
Yes.
rain here on this episode 394 of the Purple Rain podcast. Appreciate you, Asmodeus. He says, Choir boy John needs to pray with all that lying. Pride cometh before the fall. Oh, I tell you, boy. I
Agreed.
mean that whatever he does with the Giants this season, Ravens fans are going to have a very close eye on. Right, Alex?
Yes. I might be hate watching them more than some of our division rivals. Uh,
Facts.
I think the Browns, I really don't care about watching them. The Bengals, I don't have high hope for them. I think Burrow won't play every game. I think Flacco will be in. Steelers, I know they'll probably start off hot and then fall off, but yeah. Giants, you're now my hate watch list, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I am because I'm gonna be sitting there watching Ravens game 1 o'clock. See the ticker at the bottom. Actually, no, it's in the top left or right. I'm gonna see them down like 21-3 in the third quarter. I'm
Ooh,
like, yep,
wonder what's
yep.
going on over there.
I'm just thinking he's gonna hit that dick face. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm sound salty, but I genuinely the way he is talking, he just could have shut the hell up. But he keeps on talking and talking and talking, and this is what happens. And the
Yeah.
slander will keep on coming from us.
Yeah. Yeah. It will. Yeah, Giants fans, they're gonna see the Harbaugh face, when it's end of the third quarter and you're mid in the middle of blowing a lead, right? Or you just kind of have that feeling in your gut because all of us as Ravens fans can relate to this in the John Harbaugh era. There will be games where it kind of seemed close, like the Ravens could win this one. It's like third quarter, early fourth quarter. We could lose it, but you just kind of know based off of Harbaugh's face when he looks dumbfounded, like I don't got it right now. I don't know what else we can possibly do right now to kind of right this ship. You're probably going to lose. Lamar Jackson is then going to end up pressing, maybe have like a late game turnover or something like that, and everybody blames Lamar. But really, the problem was the Ravens got out coached.
Yeah,
So hopefully John Harbaugh can take this young unit in New York, and honestly, I hope they do well. I mean, I'm going to be hate watching, but if they do well, I'm not going to be mad because I love Jackson Dart, I love Cam Scatterboo, and I love
oof,
Malik Neighbors. I love Isaiah Likely. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
that's true. That's true.
right, and Pat Ricard. Like, I still have love for those guys, so I want to see them do well. And if they're carrying Harbaugh, then so be it. But I just don't think it'll be anything that has to do with him coaching. I don't see them coming out of the NFC East. I don't see them winning the NFC
Yeah,
East. I just don't.
I'm out on Scatterbo, by the way.
Why?
I'm out on him. Oh well, he told me that the condition I have isn't real. That I just need to breathe. I have asthma, and he said on the podcast that people with asthma just should breathe. So, yeah, I was like, okay,
Wait,
yeah,
did he say this like on a stream or something?
on a podcast, and he
Got
was
it.
like, and he said CTE isn't real. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
my
so he's
boy.
just trolling. Yeah, he's trolling. He's yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
my boy,
Come on now.
my boy.
Come on now.
You,
I mean,
you
that's
have
only
it.
gonna get him.
You have it.
He's not gonna get very far thinking that CTE is not real if he keeps like literally like acting like a freaking ram, just going head first into
Yeah,
these grown men, 300-pound plus linemen and whatnot, like trying to run everybody over. It's just not gonna work like that. You better get some finesse, buddy. Because I
like
mean, I saw Cam Scotty who had a lot of 1, 2 yard, 3 yard runs last year. He wasn't the greatest. He gets a lot of hype. Trust me. I mean, I like the kid because of his energy, but I do think he needs to dial it back a bit and kind of lock in on being a professional running back. You know what I mean, Alex?
no, I agree. I think the the worst thing that happened, I think the Giants is they had their come out game on Thursday Night Football in prime time, because
Hmm.
that just shot them. I think, and especially against the Eagles, you just beat the reigning Super Bowl champions, and you beat them convincingly. I think he had what 3 touchdowns. Scatterbo did. I think Dart ran for one. Like they were looking good, and now it's like you have this pressure on you. I think that kind of just capitulated. But yeah, I mean, look at the way he got hurt.
Yeah.
Off the ball, and like he bent the wrong way, and
Mm.
yeah, the, if I'm
That shit
John,
was
you
gruesome.
gotta protect your guys. Jackson Dart, I don't care if that's the way you play. You slide, you get out of bounds. He's taken way too many hits in his first year. Like everything that we're worried about our quarterback with is kind of what I'm worried about with Jackson Dart. But our quarterback was not getting hit. He would fall to the ground. He took some big hits, but some of the hits Jackson Dart took, I don't think Lamar has been hit the way Dart was hit against the
Oh
Patriots last year
no.
on Monday Night Football.
Oh no. Absolutely not.
You
No, I
know the hit
mean,
I'm talking about? He's running towards the sideline, and he just got like head-on collision.
talking about Dart, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, where he
Dart.
got decleated.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. I remember that one like it was yesterday. That it keeps replaying in my head. That was a hard hit. And he took a couple hits like that. I mean, like you said, Alex, I mean, they have this kind of like frat boy energy. Like we're just gonna run straight at you. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, some point, listen, you're in the big leagues now. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. Because you're not gonna last out here in the big leagues going head first against, the likes of really anybody. I mean, all of these guys are big, physical, you know what I'm saying, at the top of their game. Like, you're just not going to last like that. And we got to give a quick shout out to Lamar Jackson because everybody said that with his playing style, he would not be able to last in this league. But here he is, what, 8 years later? You know what I'm saying? 8 years later, still healthy, still cooking, right? Still an MVP candidate pretty much year in and year out, right? Because he knows how to take hits. It's not that Lamar doesn't take hits, right? I mean, he gets tackled and stuff like that, but like he knows how to protect his body. And that's just such an underrated skill. It's like top two underrated skills of Lamar Jackson. Number one, how he protects his body when he runs. And number two, his pocket awareness. That's kind of like unrelated, but you get what I'm saying here. Like
Yeah.
those are two very underrated skills of Lamar Jackson that nobody really talks about. Everybody's like, oh, he's so fast. Oh, now he can throw too. Oh my goodness, But nobody talks about the little things. It's those little things,
And where has he gotten hurt at when he has gotten hurt?
in the pocket.
Make it make sense. Worried about him running outside the pocket, but he gets hurt in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, guys, listen, we got 85 people watching on YouTube. About 100 people total across platforms. We got some people watching on X. Shout out to you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like on the video. I think we're at 29 likes right now. We're at about 29 likes right now. Can we get those likes up? Can we get those likes up, guys? Can y'all like the video?
40.
Let's pump it. Let's get to 40, right? Let's see if we can get to 40 in the next couple minutes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We would appreciate that. Of course, this is the Purple Rain podcast. Up, we're at 30 likes now. Somebody just liked
There
it.
we go. There we
Let's
go.
keep it going. Let's keep it going, guys. Appreciate y'all. But listen, let's get into this Nnamdi Madubuike thing. So, Sashi Brown, Ravens president, had a presser today. And where were they, Alex? I mean, I think all the GMs and owners, they met up in Arizona, right?
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah. So, Sashi Brown had like a 20-minute presser where I'm going to be honest with y'all. He said a lot, but also nothing at the same time. It was basically like a John Harbaugh masterclass. But there were some things that we took from it that if you read between the lines, they're very telling. And that's why this says this is a huge update because nobody's talking about it like it is. However, it is. And I want to talk about this specifically, this Nnamdi Madubuike thing. Let me actually pull us over here so I can pull up the tweet because he said something about him here. Here we go. I'm going to bring up this tweet here from our guy, Jeff Zuribeck. You guys all know Jeff. Does great work for the Ravens community here. He says, asked about Nnamdi Madubuike's future, Sashi Brown said it's too early to express any optimism or pessimism, end quote. He said Madubuike and GM Eric DaCosta would continue to have conversations going forward. Now, a couple things, Alex. Number one, we had just gotten news the other day, literally on Friday. Jamison Hensley, however we feel about him, and honestly, I'm kind of back on the what the hell are you talking about side when it comes to Jamison Hensley, who still has me blocked on X, by the way.
Really?
Not a big fan of your boy. Nope, not a big
For
fan of your
what?
boy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he said something. You know, Jamison Hensley, he's that reporter who asks weird questions to the players.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've called him out on it maybe a time or
Yeah.
two. And he was like, oh, let me get this guy out of here. You know, I don't like his energy. Whatever. All good. All good. But he had just reported on Friday that the Ravens have quote unquote growing optimism that Nnamdi Madubuike will return and play again for the Baltimore Ravens. But now Sashi Brown is coming out and saying, and if you actually watch the video, his energy and demeanor was very, very, how do you say, like, it was a little somber, right? It was a little like you know, you could tell he was a little bit uncomfortable, didn't really want to talk about it, as if he knows something, right? And he said it's too early to express any optimism or pessimism. So he's basically kind of saying, like, Jameson Hensley, you're absolutely wrong. I don't know what your sources are. I know you work close to the castle. You work for ESPN. I don't know where you're getting this information. Sashi Brown basically just said that no, that's not true. And so many people are saying, like, oh yeah, you know, it's a neck I word, so of course it's going to take some time. But listen, guys, it's been 7 months, and the fact that you can't even say that you're optimistic about it, the fact that you can't even say that you're optimistic about it, tells me that they are still very, very concerned, which is causing me to be concerned. They're very concerned about his future. I know we've been seeing Nnamdi Madubuike post a workout video. I think he posted one as recently as yesterday. So it seems like he's trying to work to get back. So if those signs point towards him being good to go, but Sashi Brown is saying that, nah, I mean, look, man, it's too early. It's been 7 months, but I got no optimism for you. I got no optimism for you. Then he tried to clean it up. He's like, I don't have any pessimism either, but I don't have any optimism. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's one of those things, man. And this team relies so heavily on Nnamdi Madubuike. He is the anchor of that defense. It's not Kyle Hamilton. It's not Roquan Smith. It's not Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Cheeto Awuzie, Travis Jones. No, the anchor of the Baltimore Ravens defense is Nnamdi Madubuike. And if you're a real Ravens fan, you know that. You know, so the fact that we're kind of here in limbo right now, 7 months after he
Yeah.
got hurt, is very concerning to me. But what say you, Alex?
Yeah, and think about that first game after Madubuike was out against the Lions. Gibbs and Montgomery had their way.
Cooked.
I mean, that was Montgomery. I mean, everybody had a career game against us, but Montgomery had his career game against us. And now, they shipped him off. Like, it's absolutely insane. I think, and with the neck as well, what I think, this is pure speculation. I think he's been cleared by an outside doctor, but not the Ravens team doctor. I remember when Zach Orr had it, he went to different teams because some doctors like, oh yeah, you're good to play, you're good to play. But when he went into the facilities, I know the Lions team went there. Their team doctor said, no, it's not worth the risk. If something's going to happen when he's on the field, you're liable for it. I think maybe that's the same thing. I don't think they're hopeful he'll get cleared by an NFL team doctor. That's kind of what I'm feeling at right now. I know when Harbaugh was coach, I know EDC said it, they're going to let Nnamdi himself announce it. So we're going to have to wait on that. But I don't think they'll ever give us news straight from him. If we get that random press conference notification, it's probably retirement. But right now, I'm just kind of sitting. I'm expecting him not to be there. But, he's sitting here, putting tweets out like he's feeling good. But at the end of the day, it's the team's call. So if I were to give percentage, maybe 25 he plays, 75 he doesn't. Maybe that's even too generous. And I think Dre said in here, we could take Peter Woods round 1. I think Chet's price race as well. If we take a D tackle round 1, he's done.
And maybe just maybe, Alex, and this kind of is in response to Mad Rosta's super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Mad Rosta, dropping another 5-piece in the chat. He's been making it rain here lately on the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you, Mad Rosta. He says, "Why is health such a secret? It's been almost a year. Nnamdi's a good player, but we cannot depend on him anymore. The team has so many holes." And to that, I want to say that I feel like even if the Ravens did have optimism, like internally, like Sashi Brown and EDC, they kind of know themselves, like, okay, Beeks is probably going to play. Okay, he's going to play. But maybe they're not trying to show their hand in all of their team needs before the draft. Maybe it's a strategic thing. You know what I'm saying? Because if teams know that Madubuike is not going to be good to go, then that means that teams can kind of key in on what the Ravens may do with the 14th pick, the 45th pick, and they can kind of, act accordingly around that. Oh, now that Madubuike, he's shut down. He's not coming back. They're going to be looking for a D tackle to anchor that defense again. So we may be able to get away with drafting the guy here or wait until the next pick. It seems like a strategic thing. And we always talk about the whole liars, luncheons, and things like that. I think that if there's anybody who's going to be a liar, it would be this guy, Sashi Brown. And this is no disrespect towards Sashi Brown, but we don't hear from that often. We don't hear from him that often, Alex. So, what reason would he have to come out there, and really just kind of spill all the beans? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get it from that perspective too, but it still does, even still, it still concerns me because, again, Nnamdi Madubuike is basically, again, the anchor, whatever you want to call it. I'll say the damn quarterback of the defense. And I know he's not the guy with the green dot. He's not Roquan. He's not Kyle Hamilton, who's a weapon all over the place. But without Madubuike, you guys saw. I mean, Alex just brought it up, that Lions game, and pretty much everybody else, they were able to torch us and push our defensive line all up and down the field. So having him back is going to be crucial.
And you bring up Sashi Brown. He's the president. He's not the GM. Why are we asking him these uniform questions? I'm all for. Draft questions, I'm all for. Stadium upgrades, I'm all for. Actual football questions, he worked in football at the Browns. He is our president. I just pulled up the job description here. An NFL team president is the top executive responsible for the franchise's business operations, financial success, and strategic vision, generally acting on behalf of the owner. No football operations. Why are we asking that? And I think maybe EDC's keeping it real close to him, but anything he were to say, I would take it with a grain of salt. Now, obviously, he talked about the stadium, how they're going to add more bathrooms, and all that good stuff, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, I just don't think he's probably the best person to be asking football stuff about.
Yeah. And Chef Spicy Rice also put it in the chat. He said, isn't Sashi Brown mainly on the business side? Why would he know anything about Beeks? Yeah, basically what you were just saying there. Great point.
I mean, he's brought a lot of money now to the stadium. Think about all these extra events they're having at M&T Bank. Let's just go through it this year. They've had the Inter Miami game against DC United, which was, they said sold out, but I'm going to go probably 65,000. They're going to have the draft party there. They're going to have the Morgan Wallen concert. They're going to have the BTS I think it's one of the K-pop groups. They're coming here. They're going to have a rugby game here.
Demon Hunters coming to town?
It's one of the K-pop groups. I know they had the, I think Lax there. They've had all these extra events that we haven't really seen at M&T Bank. He's just generating more money to the stadium, and they're making upgrades. I think that's what his main thing is doing. He's doing a great job with it. So, football stuff, leave it to EDC and the other guys.
Which is why I was hoping we would have gotten EDC presser today, but instead we got Sashi. So we're working with what we got. JD with the super chat donation. Appreciate you dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Says, what's up, y'all? When will I be able to join the show? Listen, you know what's crazy? Now that I've got this new setup, right, and I don't have to worry about, the technical difficulties and the strain being put on my computer of having guests on, because apparently that was a big part of it. When we had guests, my crap would act up way more than usual. But now those problems are no more. So of course, for members and always for the members, we are going to have more opportunities for you guys to call into the show, especially now that it's off season. Alex, why not have somebody call in? You know what I mean? Like, give
Mm,
your take on the Ravens. We're always giving our takes on the
yes.
Ravens here on PRP. So we definitely want to get you guys more involved as well and start providing more value for our members here on the channel. So that is coming very, very soon, JD. And I know you've been asking for it. I know you've been asking for it. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's on the way, brother. It's on the way.
Yes.
Okay, what else did Sashi Brown say today? You mentioned those uniforms, didn't you? You mentioned those
I
uniforms.
did.
What did he say
Now,
about those?
they posted real quick. They posted that 30th year, how it's been, or 30 years as a franchise, and they mentioned what was the slogan that they used? Because they used a slogan in this video, and what was interesting to me was they kind of showed every single uniform the Ravens have worn. Now, if you're coming up in the 30 years, why in God's green earth are we showing the Ravens getting blown out to the Chiefs wearing those damn mustard pants?
Mm.
I'm starting to think there's some real truth behind this whole uniform stuff. I really am.
Well, Sashi said here, he said that he's got no updates on the uniform. He said that, and I quote, like a new uniform process is a lengthy process. So I think he said also they wouldn't be starting to design those things until like next year or something like that. So maybe again, it's just a huge liar's luncheon. He's just blowing smoke up all of our asses. But I would hope. I mean, wouldn't it be so great, Alex, for not only for the Ravens to enter this new regime with Jesse Minter and the new coaching staff, but like also have some new unis, right?
Yes.
Like let's modernize the Ravens uniforms. And I think somebody asked about the helmets. He still declined to comment. Like, so clearly there is something going
Mhm.
on. There's something going on. And again, with these guys, when they get up here and they start talking, if they vehemently like deny or decline answering these questions, it means that there's something under wraps that they don't want to let hit the public just yet. Alex, do you have any real quick? Because I know you're big on this type of stuff. Do you have
Yeah.
any like anything on your wish list when it comes to like a new Ravens uni?
Oh, I have. Well, real quick, I have a whole bold prediction. So they said the next flight there's going to be new uniforms in 2 weeks. I think that Thursday they're having a special event for the PSL owners. I know some people going.
Hmm.
I think they're going to announce them there. Would not surprise me one bit. I think that's when they'll probably announce them. As for my wish list,
Hmm.
I want the font to be like the old Ravens uniforms, like from 96 to 99, I think, or to 2000. I like that old font. I think it just was a great look. It kind of screamed Ravens. I would like I would like something different, alternative for away. Incorporate more gold, but not a lot of it, because I feel like we don't really embrace that. Obviously, in the color rush we have it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, like that font on that second picture with that Ray's wearing. Oh, I absolutely love that font. That on
Mm.
like our home, that would be beautiful. Or like on an all black. Oh my goodness. But I
Whew.
think this, it's like a one off. If you make some tweaks,
Yeah.
that's a great look right there as well. So it's hard to go wrong with our uniform. And JD mentions on the two, they have the Nike jerseys. Like Nike is a full sale on Fanatics. If you go online, they're selling those like. And I think we even last year we applied to for the uniform change. It was us, the Commanders, and the Titans. Well, who got new uniforms already? The Titans. Who's
Oh
unveiling new
yeah.
uniforms in a couple of weeks? The Commanders. You're not
Yeah.
fooling me, Sashi. You're not.
See, we're really getting down to the bottom of stuff here. We're really getting down to the bottom of it. Yes, I mean, I definitely think that some new unis are coming. I think he is lying through his teeth, as these guys tend to do. But for me, and I've kind of told you this, Alex, before, like it's gonna pay me to say it again. I've never been a huge fan of the Ravens uniforms. I haven't. So like I'm looking for like almost like a total 180 from what
Okay.
we see now. Of course, keep the same color scheme and everything like that, but I want it to look a little bit more modernized. I mean, I feel like again, Nike. You said Nike's doing the jerseys, right?
Mhm.
I don't understand how the Oregon Ducks get these such beautiful, exquisite jersey designs like every single year, you know. But for NFL teams, and maybe NFL teams is just a little bit more conservative. Hey, we don't want you really going too far, that sort of thing, whatever. But I want to see this Ravens team specifically. And you know what? You know what I want to see, Alex. Here it is. Here it is. Let me see. Those Ravens practice jerseys.
Talk about it.
Give me
Talk about
those.
it.
Let me see. Let me search this up.
Talk about it. I know what you're. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. You see it
Mm-hmm.
right there. That's what I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for. That all black with the purple number. Maybe you can even outline that in white to make it pop a little bit more. Do something, maybe change up the logo a little bit. Um, do something. But I'm excited nonetheless, Alex. I cannot wait to see. Hopefully, they actually do come out with some new jerseys because
Yes.
it's been way overdue.
That's beautiful right there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, come
look
on.
at that.
That
Come
that's
on,
that's a top seller right there. That's a top seller.
sheesh. Love that. Love that. But yeah,
Oof.
man. Let me see what else we got. What else we got? What else we got? What else did he say here? I guess we can touch on this just really quick, Alex. I know you feel about the whole Max Crosby thing. Um, yeah, I know. Sashi
Wait
Brown.
for
He
it.
said
No, you're
he was
good. You're good.
he was asked about whether he's concerned about the Crosby fallout impacting the team's reputation around the league, and Sashi Brown said he wasn't concerned about that at all. People understand who we are and what we are about.
Hmm.
Okay, I hope so. Right? Because the reports were saying after the Crosby trade fell out that GMs around the league were calling Cap. They were calling Kaepernick on this. They were saying this is bullshit, you know? And I guess I don't know who to believe anymore. I think Sashi did a lot of lying in today's presser. Obviously, sometimes people's sources aren't all the way accurate, but I think that the general consensus around the league, if I had to guess, if I had to imagine, teams probably are looking at the Baltimore Ravens a little bit sideways right now, don't you think?
They can, and I'm glad you brought this up because I actually have a point to talk about with Max Crosby.
Okay.
The GM for the Raiders spoke today.
Mm.
This is what he said. I quote, I have a lot of respect for how much he and Max Crosby loves to play and wanting to be out there all the time. But I think at some point the law of diminishing returns and kicks in on everybody. I don't think signing Quiddy Pay, re-signing Tyree Wilson, and having them is going to make Max want to play less. So you're telling me the law of diminishing kicks in on everybody?
Hmm.
Hold up, hold up. You're telling me your star edge rusher is going to play less snaps now? Why is that?
Mm.
But why is that? Why is that?
Because they must know something. They must know that, hey, look, like he's a little bit damaged goods, right? We cannot run him into the ground. You know what I mean? We can't make him a 3-down guy like we would want him to be, even though he can stop the run and of course he can get after the passer with the best of them. We are concerned, just like the Ravens were concerned about that knee. Especially if we want to um, hold on to this guy because he's only 28, right? I think that Max Crosby is probably, in terms of age wise, he's probably like in his prime right now. A healthy Max Crosby, I think, is like a prime Max Crosby right now. And he probably has a couple of years left of that sort of productivity. But, like you mentioned, it is very telling that their GM, I think it's John Spytek, came out today and said that eventually, basically, father time catches up to all of us, is basically what he was saying. Like, we're not going to be able to really rely on this guy. So maybe the Ravens dodged a bullet. No?
And I think they did. And I'll ask you this:
Yeah.
Does Myles Garrett get time off?
Ah, no.
Can you imagine if the Browns GM Andrew Berry said, "Yeah, Myles Garrett isn't playing every snap." Imagine that outrage. Imagine it. Makes you wonder.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, Alex. I'll get my camera pulled back up here in a second. But real quick, guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We'd appreciate that. Again, this is episode
Yes.
394 of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. We're at about 48 likes right now. Can we get to 50? 50 should be easy.
50's easy.
Come on. Come on. Should we push for 60? Can we push for 60 likes?
75.
75. I like that. I
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Raising the stakes here. Listen, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, please be sure to leave a like on the video as well. We'd appreciate that a whole lot. And leave down below in the comment section your questions, comments, concerns on anything that you have from this episode of the show. Let me see. What else do we have? What else do we have here from what he said today? Um, I think that was about it. So he kind of touched on the Lamar Jackson contract situation, but not really at the same time. He said, and here it is right here. Asked about Lamar Jackson, Sashi Brown said that he would not comment about the contract aspect of it, but he praised the quarterback's engagement this offseason. Lamar's at a point in his career where he's seen so much. We value his opinion tremendously. How do you react to that, Alex?
Once again, I know he was in there. Somebody made a point. He was in there for the head coaching interviews. I don't think he's gonna ever, he won't be the one to drop tidbits about this. I think he may know something, but not nearly as much as the EDC. But I I don't think it gets done this year. I'll just tell you that right now. So I'm not really expecting it. So it's good he spoke about him well, but that's what you should do when you're the president, and that's your moneymaker. And the way he's looking at him, that's the guy who brings people, puts butts in the stands, gets the merchandise selling. Anything with 8 or Lamar Jackson on it will sell.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Let me see. Justin Lewis asking a question here. Would Ravens plan to extend both Zay and Lamar? What do you think about that?
Got to extend 8 first, which clears up cap. Then you get Zay done. But it won't be Zay then Lamar. I think it'll be Lamar and then Zay. I think it has to be Lamar and then Zay. If it's Zay first, like that's kind of their last ditch effort to show, hey, we need you here. We want you to stay. We just extend your number one guy. You got to stay. That's how I'm looking at that.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. And I know I said last week, I don't really want them. I'm not a big fan, a big proponent of paying Zay Flowers $30+ million a year. It's just me, guys. I mean, don't hurt me for that.
You,
Just how I feel. You know what I mean?
you started it.
I know.
Here we go.
That's just how I'm feeling, though. That's just how I'm feeling. But hopefully they go out and it'll be very telling to see what they do in the draft, Alex. Right? If they go out and they draft a receiver with their first 3 picks, I think that kind of tells you, especially if it's the first 2 picks, 14 or 45. If a receiver is taken, I think the writing is on the wall for Zay Flowers. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. What else we got? So that was pretty much it for Sashi Brown. Let's talk Trey Hendrickson a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Trey Hendrickson because he was just on a podcast recently. This podcast is called The Set Show with Teron Armstead. Shout out to him and what they got going on over there. But they had Trey Hendrickson on, and they were talking about like his mentality, and I think Teron Armstead gave him like a scenario here on like what he would do in like a 3rd and 11 situation. So let me go ahead and play that for you guys.
Take us to the mind of a crazy competitor. It's 3rd and 11. It's 2nd round of the playoffs. 2-minute drive. 3rd and 11. You in that 3-point stance. You got that hand back. You reading, you watching the ball, you watching the tackle. What's going through your mind?
Some of the most peaceful thoughts I've always. It's almost like
Peaceful.
when opportunity comes, it's such a blessing, and I'm so thankful even before the results take place. It's the confidence in knowing that I worked my whole life for a moment like this. And it all happens in less than a millisecond, and then the ball snaps, and then it's taking advantage of that opportunity, which is so quick, right? The ball's gone in 3 seconds. So we're talking your whole life is 2.3 seconds of a rush, and then 1 second to close. It's so peaceful to know that the opportunity is right on the other side, and I look forward to being in moments like that. I've been fortunate to be a part of moments like that, but for as chaotic as everybody would think it is, it's some of the best moments of my life are in those little details.
Oh, the fact that you use the word peaceful
Right.
to describe that moment. It's 75,000 people screaming.
Yeah,
At
no,
the time.
nothing.
And it's like, you don't hear nothing.
Okay, Alex,
Yeah.
I'll toss it to you first. How do you react to that?
I mean, Armstead, him saying that, coming from a lineman himself, being the guy lined up opposite of this edge rusher, like a Trey Hendrickson, I wouldn't know what he's thinking, because now you have him running at you. You have to stop him. Like, I think I'm the lineman. I'm thinking, get this guy on the ground. Like, I've worked my butt off, and I'm going to violently, hold him and block him. But I don't know. That's good to hear. We haven't had a guy like him on the team in a while, and who gets the type of sacks he's gotten. He's ready to go back to being in those situations. He had a couple of them with the Bengals, not many recently, but in high, leverage situations here with the Ravens. How many did we have last year? How many of them did we have last year? And we were 8-9. We could use that guy and that mentality. It's good to hear. I hope he brings that to the rest of the guys, the Mike Greens, the Tavius Robinsons. Maybe who knows if we get a Ruben Bain, if we get a guy, second round, or if we bring in another guy. Would love for that mentality to instill and have the hunters on the team because that's what we need. Guys can get there and make this your moment. So that's definitely an interesting take. I wasn't expecting that from him, honestly.
No, definitely not. Real quick, guys, leave a like on the video. We're sitting at 55 likes right now. Let's get it up. Let's boost it. Come on, y'all. Let's boost it. If you haven't liked the video yet, please go ahead and like the video. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do that as well. Helps us out a ton here at PRP. But listen, Trey Hendrickson, this mentality here. I mean, I'm stuck between either he is like an absolute menace or a fake demon. Right? I'm torn between the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards absolute menace because we've seen his track record. We've seen his resume. Since 2021, he leads the league. Well, he's actually second now because he missed half of last season. But he's second in fourth quarter sacks. The Ravens bought this guy in to be a closer, to finish games. That was their biggest pain point, one of their biggest pain points in the last couple of seasons, right? When the Ravens had these double-digit leads, quarterbacks were just dropping back and doing whatever they wanted to do in the pocket. With a Trey Hendrickson coming after you, that ain't going to happen. Now, Alex, have you ever seen, or are you familiar with the TV show Key and Peele?
That's genuinely one of my favorite shows. Not to get off on a tangent, we would, every Wednesday when it was on Comedy Central, we would watch it. And when I couldn't watch it, we would record it.
This reminds me, Alex. You know them all? So you're going to know it.
I'm going to know it, yes.
Okay. So you remember the one where they're trying to they're acting like they're promoting a mixed martial arts, like a UFC fight, right?
Yep.
And you have the one guy who's like talking a whole bunch of like real American gangster type trash, like, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out first round, you know what I mean? And then the other guy is like this like bald, like super religious guy, like older guy, you know what I'm saying? He's like, God's teachings are so beautiful. Like, I am just the instrument of God's lessons and teachings. Like, he was just so calm and like spirited, at the same time. That's what Trey Hendrickson is low-key giving me here. Like, if the fact, like in Armstead, he put it in beautiful context. Like, bro, there's 70,000 people screaming. You know what I mean? Whether or not you're at home or away. I mean, people are expecting you to show up and perform. And you, like you said, you got 2 to 3 seconds to get shit done. You know what I mean? How do you have peace? How do you find peace in those moments? And I think it really speaks to Trey Hendrickson's mentality. And that may be why, he's able to get 17 and a half sacks in the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. I'll just say that. Jay says,
Yeah.
Wait, where'd he go? You said y'all lost him?
And he just, oh my gosh, that's such
hilarious.
It's such a great depiction of how some of the UFC pre-fights are. Just like the whole trash talk, and there's that one guy just talking about just spirit, and it's like, okay, all right, well, I don't want to be in the octagon with him. But that's a great point. Honestly, I'm gonna have to watch it now after, and I'm just gonna picture Trey Hendrickson. I'm gonna relate what he said in that. That's honestly such a great comparison.
No, man, that's I love Key and Peele, man. We got to do like top 3 Key and Peele skits on one of these episodes of the show because I got my top 3. There's so many of them. I know you probably got some deep pools, but like
I'll tell you this: the East-West Bowl has to be up there for me. It has.
That one's goated.
I think for the pop culture references, the fact that like you can't say Aaron without somebody saying Ron. I think to this day you can't.
Facts. Wow. That one was probably goated. That's probably the number one. I think in terms of like the general consensus, like people would most people remember that one. I really like the Hell's Kitchen one. That one was hilarious. A bunch of them are really funny. We'll get to that someday. We'll get to that one day, right? Okay. So Trey Hendrickson, and again, here's my other thing. I want to show you guys one more thing, right? Like I said before, I have been taking the liberty of doing a lot of film study on the Chargers defense from last year. Now, this is on NFL Pro. I'm not going to play the whole video. That way we don't get copyright and things like that. But I just kind of want to show you guys some stills here of what we're looking at on this play. This is a 3rd and 11 coincidentally, 3rd and 11, the same 3rd and 11 that Teron Armstead posed to Trey Hendrickson. What do you do in this situation? Now, if you notice something, Alex, on this play, who's lined up out left over here? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but
Oh,
on the
just
left over,
future Hall of Famer.
yeah,
Khalil
this
Mack.
future Hall of Famer Khalil Mack. And on this play, if you notice, let me see, let me get the play started. He's got 3 guys assigned to him to block him, right? You got TJ Hawkinson, who's blocking him from the outside here. You've got the right tackle, who's ready to follow him up. And then you also have Aaron Jones in the backfield, who's going to go ahead and get another chip on him too. So they're completely taking Khalil Mack out of the game. All good, no worries, Jesse Minter says. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can try to take Khalil Mack out of the game, but look what's going on in the middle of the field, like in the middle of the trenches here, and then also on the outside. Real quick, on the outside, you got our good old friend Adafe Owe rushing the passer, right? He's one-on-one, okay? One-on-one. So what do I imagine, Alex? I imagine this year, Jesse Minter's defense, you're going to have a lot of teams really trying to take Trey Hendrickson out of the game. 3rd and long, right? We're going to get a guy to chip him. We're going to throw an extra lineman, whatever, you know? So who is that going to leave on the other side? Just purely one-on-one. Do you? It's going to be Mike Green. And Mike Green was a guy who we saw a lot of flashes in terms of pass rush technique last season. I've always been on here saying, hey, look, if he puts on about 10, 15 more pounds of muscle, that boy is going to be nice. And I assume that's probably what he's doing right now. I think he just posted a training video just the other day. Mike Green did. Shout out to him. So Mike Green's going to be on an island. So if Mike Green can win these type of one-on-one matchups like Odafe Owe wins right here, while Trey Hendrickson is taking up so much attention on the other side of the line, oh, we're going to be cooking. But that's not the biggest thing about this, though. If you take a look at the middle of the field here,
Yes.
if you take a look at the middle of the field here, look how much havoc and chaos is caused by the scheme, right? It's less about even just the players. And I want to give respect to the players here. This is Tuli Tupelutu, who's a dog in his own regard as well, you know? And then you also have Dayan Henley here, who's a little bit lesser known. But look what happens. I'll just play a couple of seconds here. Look what happens. You see that pick play, right,
Yeah.
Alex? Did you see that?
I saw it.
It's a staple of Jesse Minter's defense, right? You get athletic guys on the interior here. These offensive linemen don't know what to do. So all of a sudden, the pocket is collapsing from the interior. You got half your team over here blocking the star edge rusher. We got that in Trey Hendrickson. And then you got the younger guy on the outside, Adafe Owe, who's winning his one-on-one matchup. So as long as Mike Green can win his one-on-one matchups, you know, and as long as the interior can collapse the pocket, which, again, this is why we're relying so heavily on Nnamdi Madubuike coming back. You got Madubuike, Travis Jones on the interior pushing that pocket, collapsing it from the interior. Mike Green winning from the outside, and then half the team worried about Trey Hendrickson. I mean, you're looking at sub 2 seconds to throw the football. And if you do throw, it's going into a tight window. You know what I mean? So, again, I've been watching a lot of film. Go ahead, take it away, man. What do you see?
Oh, and with that rush from Dan Hensley, like I think that'll be Trenton Simpson. I think he showed great closing speed. I think the season last year. I think he made multiple plays. I know against the Browns, he made a great play closing in. I think on Shador Sanders, and then there was a play against the Steelers in Week 18. He ran down the running back. I don't know if it was Gainwell, but he made a fantastic tackle, like on a 3rd and 2. Now, if I have him running up that hole, that's kind of what he was known for out of Clemson, the athletic guy, or even the Teddy Buchanan. I hope he comes back fully healthy. I'm not sure how he's going with his rehabbing right now, but to have them going through holes like that, that's just fun. I'm looking at the talent on their defense too. I mean, compared to what we have, I mean, with all due respect, there's talent on there, but what we have, man, I like that a lot. If you sub out some of those guys, what we have, your Hamiltons, hell, your Bouziers, I think with Wiggins. I'm really hoping it was truly a technique thing with Marlon, the way Rod Woodson said it, and I'm going to take his word, NFL Hall of Famer, for many different reasons. I want to believe he can get back to where he was playing in that 2024 year, where he had 7 picks, 4 fumbles, pass breakups.
Yeah, and you had mentioned really quick Trenton Simpson. I do wholeheartedly believe that Jesse Minter will be able to unlock Trenton Simpson. Because again, I've been watching a lot of this tape, right? And you got a lot of linebackers who are what he likes to do. Jesse Minter, I've noticed he likes to get his guys, his linebackers, on a delayed rush. You know, especially the wills. Like he'll have them on a delayed rush, like act like they're coming, drop back into coverage for a second, right, and then rush the passer, right. It's a beautiful thing. Again, organized chaos at its finest. And you bring up a fabulous point, Alex. I mean, he was doing more with less in LA. Now he gets to do more with more. You got all pros on this team. You got Pro Bowlers on this team. You got future Pro Bowlers and all pros, guys like Nate Wiggins and the like, right? So, man, like I said before earlier in the episode, I think that this defense will largely be on, dare I say, like autopilot. I feel like this defense is going to be top 5, man. There's just no way, especially if you anchor it with a Nnamdi Madubuike, barring whoever we get in the draft and the rest of, throughout free agency in the offseason, this defense is going to be damn good. It really just kind of shifts to the offense, and where I have a lot of confidence in the offense too is what Jesse Minter was saying in his Ravens Wired episode last week. He was saying, like, basically, even with me being a defensive guy, I'm not tone deaf to the offensive side of the football. The number one priority is having Lamar Jackson in a system where he feels comfortable, confident, right? And he gets into a flow state, right? We're not running a clunky offense where we're scratching and clawing for every single yard, right? So, again, overall, a lot to be excited about on this Ravens team right now. I cannot wait for the regular season to start again. But yeah, listen, guys, I think we pretty much touched on everything.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
tell you this, Glock Owen makes a great point. Simpson looks lost. Like, he needs simple assignments. Similar to Patrick Queen, when PQ's job got simple, he got way better. I remember Patrick Queen mentioned it was see ball, get ball. And that's when he really turned it around. Like,
yeah,
it made things like when Roquan came, it was simpler and it unlocked a level of him. I think that
good point.
second half of that 2022 year when Roquan came, I can fully, attribute that to have the Roquan effect. 23, I think he got better in coverage. All around, he got better. He was, more was allowed to be on his plate, I think, because he trusted the guy next to him. And now, like, with Simpson, he kind of was thrown in that role, wasn't looking the best. Last year, I thought the end, he looked a lot better. Now I'm thinking, hopefully this year, if they can, like you said, keep it simple, kind of see ball, get ball for him, I think he'll make the tackles for loss. He'll get sacks. He has everything else. So I think it's more up here than anywhere else. So, and I think Minter will do a great job at just unlocking him. He'll unlock a lot of players, and
Yeah,
I think that's why they hired him, because he'll be so hands-on with these guys.
right.
He saw it in the interviews, what they asked him.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. And I saw somebody post. I think it was our guy Ryan from the Flock Rundown, friend of the show. Shout out to him. He had posted something that I did not know earlier today. It said that new NFL coaches, new NFL head coaches, they can start their off-season program, their off-season workouts and stuff like that on April 6th, like a little bit
Yes.
earlier than everybody else, pretty much. And I had no clue. I had no clue of that. So it'll be interesting to see who comes together for those workouts. Will Lamar Jackson be there with the likes of, the Hamiltons and all the other stars on the team? I would hope so. But it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. It's going to be before the draft as well, man. It's crazy early, crazy early. But we will be here covering that, when that day comes. So if you did enjoy this episode of the Purple Rain podcast, please be sure to like the video before you get out of here. We still have over 100 people watching live. And we got 67 likes right now. Please, if you could, leave a like on this video before you get out of here. Also, subscribe if you are new. Subscribe if you're new. We do go live every Monday and Thursday on our main pod here, the Purple Rain podcast. Outside of that, I do go live throughout the week sporadically on Quiet Storm Sports, covering Ravens news and then other sports news as well. And then I saw somebody throw in the chat earlier that I've been slacking on the sudden reactions. Oh, Glaucoma brings it back up here. So Sudden, what's up with the reacts? They're coming back. They're coming back, brother. So, again, big thing for me was I wasn't trying to put too much stress on my old MacBook, because I realized when I was going live multiple times a day, it just couldn't handle it anymore. And so now that I've got this new setup, again, for those of you guys who just got in here, your boy Sutton got a new MacBook, got a new connection, wired connection now. So all the days of the technical difficulties are over. You will be able to hear me and see me now. So I appreciate all of y'all for supporting throughout those dark times. But Sudden Reactions will be coming back tomorrow. It'll be
you
coming
go.
back tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And make sure you turn on notifications as well. So that way you're always notified whenever we do go live here on PRP. Again, appreciate y'all for coming through. And let me see. Let's see what else. Oh, yep. I think we're good. I appreciate y'all for coming through. This has been episode 394 of PRP. And with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through to this episode of Purple Rain Podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 394 of PRP. We're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.